Whew, I am back again. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Hold on. Oh, that water is hidden for something, okay? Welcome back to Fair Thoughts, the podcast. I am your host, Lashaii, and you guys, I am back with another episode. And honestly, I'm ecstatic. I'm happy that I'm back making my podcast episodes for you guys. And like I said before, I'm not going to say sorry that I was MIA because it was very much needed for me, especially like just for me, honestly. And I wanted to come back better for you guys. I didn't want to just come back and just say like, I don't want to just post just to post. I'm not that type of person. So everything for me has to kind of be strategic, you know? So yeah, I've been MIA. I have been working on myself. Like I said in the last episode, I have been in the waiting room. And if you guys haven't heard that episode already, make sure you guys go tune into that episode because it is very vital to understand what I mean by the waiting room. Like having concrete walls with no door. If you watch the last one, you understand what I'm talking about. But in today's video, I really wanted to talk about being nicer to yourself and kind of like just, not being so hard on yourself. Life be happening. What else can we do? Do what you can. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where the anxiety builds up when you're trying to do so much, and that's the dreadful part of life when anxiety takes over your life and it's something that you can't even control anymore. You can't cope with it. You can't just live with it. It's literally taking over everything that you do on a daily basis. And that's when I feel like you should seek some help because I have anxiety really bad and I always was able to cope with it until I had a really bad episode in October and I said, oh, I can't control it. I can't, this not, and it wasn't that I was trying to control it, but I had ways of coping with my anxiety. So it was never like an issue for me until then. And I said, oh, and your body will let you know, like this ain't it, this ain't it, boo. This ain't it for you. Cut it out, stop, let's regroup. That's literally what my body told me, like, girl, you can't do it anymore. And I really just want all of us to start being a lot more lenient with ourselves, especially for the people pleasers or people that always give other people a pass so many times. Give yourself a couple passes. Like you beat yourself up so much, but you just let everybody else slide with everything else. Make it make sense. Because it doesn't make sense, Honestly, you just really have to show up for yourself, but also to just be gentle with yourself. Our bodies can only handle but so much. You don't need to overwork yourself. You don't need to be doing this and the third. You don't need to overextend yourself. Really just be who you need to be for that moment. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is be who you need to be for that moment. Like do what you need to do for that moment. Don't worry about what you got to do in an hour or two. That stimulates that anxiety in you. Like I really am the type of person where I will, how can I word it? I will literally wake up. It's about like 6:30, 7 a.m. I'm like, dang, I gotta do something at 1 p.m. Okay, so now I gotta do this at 8 a.m. and then I gotta do this at 11 a.m. because I can't go nowhere because I gotta, that's really how my mind operates and I hate it sometimes. Like I will literally tell people, no, I can't do anything, but the whole event that I have something to do is not until 6 p.m. But I gotta plan the whole day. Don't bother me. You know what I mean? And I feel like I am hard on myself when it comes to that aspect of my life. When it comes to scheduling, I don't like when my schedule is thrown off. And now granted that part, I don't. I just don't like when my schedule is thrown off. So that's not something I'm going to change. But being a little bit more lenient with myself, like, okay, if I have a deadline, if I can't get it done, but I did what I could, okay, cool. Versus I just laid in bed all day. No, I'm not about to be lenient with myself because I know I should have did this. I should have did that, So when it comes to you trying to figure out your days, focus on that day right then and there. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about a date that's in 2 weeks. Don't worry about what's going to happen in 2 months. Focus on the right now because that's what's going to stimulate in your mind. When you start thinking about what you got to do in 2 months or you have a deadline, it's in 2 weeks or whatever, Stop focusing on a deadline. Do what you need to do in between to get to accomplish whatever it is that you need to have done at the deadline, you know? Because when you start thinking of, oh, I gotta do this, oh, that's annoying to yourself. That you're doing too much to yourself. You're complaining to yourself too much. You're throwing too much on yourself at once. You're like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do that. Okay, let's do one thing at a time. Let's focus on that at least, you know? And when it comes to being nicer to yourself, really soak it in. Realize how you've been treating yourself lately. Think about it. And this is not for everybody because some people really have been treating themselves very nicely. Love that for y'all. But like I do know for myself, sometimes I just was just doing too much. No. I haven't been doing too much. It's been I really wasn't doing enough. I really wasn't. Like I will literally have too many off days where I'm really just chilling, y'all. Like and I was enjoying it. Like when I say I'm in my waiting period, my waiting season, my down season, I enjoy not having to do anything because you really can just sit back, relax, and just figure out what it is that you want to do. Have you sat down and figured out what it is that you want to do? Not what you got to do right now, like not what you have to do in the moment, like, but what do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? What is it that you feel like you really want to work on for yourself? What do you want to implement into your scheduling? What is it? Start thinking about these things. Get your journal out right now. While you're listening to this, get that journal out and start writing down some of these things. You can pause me for a second so you can start thinking about what is it that you see for yourself? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you feel as though you deserve? Like if these are all things that matter to you, and you know, no one can tell you what you deserve. No one can tell you what you need. This is about you. Okay, this is your you season. Make this about you and figure it out, you know, figure out what it is that you need to get done. What do you need to accomplish for yourself to feel good? What is it that you feel like is you're lacking in life? What do you feel like is going wrong in your life? Face your fears, face the things that you feel like, you know, is causing issues in your life, and let's work on them. Ignoring them, you know, drinking, partying, going out, doing whatever it is. You're not facing your problems, you're running away from them, or you're trying to like hide them. And that's not going to last very long. You're going to crash at one point, you know. I don't recommend you crashing. So how about we focus on, let's get that journal out, like I said, and start writing down these different things, because your life is so precious. You really deserve the world. I feel like we all deserve the world, but we got to put in the work still. And I don't mean overworking yourself or, like I said, overextending yourself or anything like that. I don't mean that. I mean, you still just have to do your part. And it can be the smallest thing. Start baby steps. Start somewhere. If you want to be a photographer or like a videographer, or, you know, pull out your phone, start taking good videos, start taking good pictures, start saving up to invest into a camera. If you want to start being a hairstylist, start practicing on some mannequin heads, practice on your friends, practice on yourself, make some videos showing you doing these styles and, you know, things like that. And if you need to go to school for that, you know, for cosmetology school and things like that, save up some money here and there, whatever you got to do so that you can afford it. Or if you can get do they do student loans for cosmetology? I don't know. Let me not talk too much about it because I don't know. You know, but do what you can. Start today, start now. Snap your fingers, get yourself up out of that funk, whatever it is, whatever is holding you back from and it could be yourself. We hold ourselves back a lot. So I ain't gonna knock it. I'll be holding myself back from some things sometimes too. I'm like, and it's just it's just the negative thoughts in the back of my head telling me I can't do something. Yes, I can, and I will do it. Will I do it today? Maybe. And if I don't, I'm gonna still do it, but it probably won't be at that moment. But just have that confidence where you know you are very deserving of everything great. You are very deserving of whatever it is that you want in life. Life will pass you by when you are just watching other people or waiting for something to happen to you. And I'm not gonna even say it won't happen, because sometimes, you know, luck, some things do just happen for people. But I'm not gonna be that type of person where I'm gonna have that mindset where I'm just waiting around for something good to happen. No, I'm going after what I want. I'm taking life by its ponytail and dragging her right along. Like, come on, this is my life. I want it to be something great. I want it to be something where I'm glad. Like I'm I'm ecstatic, I'm thriving, I'm feeling good about life. Like I want it to be that, you know? So when you give yourself grace, not too much grace, like I said, because I have my days where I give myself too much grace, eating ice cream, just doing everything, like, what a shame. But be a good person to yourself. Like stop pouring into everybody else. Pour into yourself. And for me, I always just ask God to pour into me so I can pour into others. Like that's like how I'm pouring into myself. He's pouring into me so that I can pour into other people's cup. I don't care if you are half empty, whatever. I'm going to pour into you because if I see the potential that you have, as long as you can tell me what your vision is, or like you see the potential, or you kind of know, I'm going to give you that little push that you need to keep going. You just need to keep going. The days that you feel so down where you just don't want to go anymore, listen, we all have those days. Like you're gonna have these days. You can't run from them. You can't hide from them. You can't avoid it. You're gonna have these days. So now let's figure out how we're gonna get through these type of days. Like I'll go on my prayer journal. I will write out everything that I'm feeling, even though God knows already what I'm going through. But I need to write it down. I need to get this out. Like I said, if you gotta scream, if you gotta write this down, if you gotta call somebody, whatever the case may be, do that. You gotta let it out, because if you're gonna sit there and dwell on the negativity, be miserable, you're not being nice to yourself, you're not being kind to yourself, you're not giving yourself grace at all. You're literally making it harder for yourself. This is your life. You gotta make something out of it. What do you want to tell people when, if when the younger generation grows up? All these life lessons that we're learning, I want to be able to teach other people what I've been going through, or what I've been through, how I got out of it, and things like that. Because at the end of the day, we all gonna go through life, but how are we going to, how do you, what's the word I want to use? How did you get through it? If somebody asked you, like life right now, say it's like a whole apocalypse technically going on. Like say this, what's going on is an apocalypse. You survive. Somebody want to hear your story. What did you do to survive? How did you survive? How was it? What did you learn? These are all questions that people are going to ask you. And what is your answer going to be? Like if somebody asked me, how did I survive? I would literally be like, I was in my prayer journal. I really wanted to feel good about whatever. And I don't really mean an apocalypse is going on. I'm saying like, however your life is right now, say that's an apocalypse. That's what is going on right now in your life. And someone asks you, how did you get out of it? How did you do this? Or whatever the case is, once you're out of that waiting room season, your down season is the apocalypse, okay? And I hope this makes sense to somebody, because it makes sense in my head, but I'm hoping it makes sense to other people. But your down season is your apocalypse. And once you get out of that down season apocalypse era, people are wanting to ask you, how was it? What did you learn? What was that about? Da da da. They're going to ask these questions, and what would your answer be? If you just laid there and let life take you the whole time, nobody want to hear that story. It's not really even a good story. Like I said, your testimony could be somebody else's pick me up. That is not going to pick me up. I'm like, you did what? You laid down? You slept the whole way? Like you didn't do nothing? You didn't go for a walk? So think of how your story will be when you tell people how you got out of your apocalypse. And I feel like I should have probably did the video about like apocalypse. Maybe I'll do another one. Maybe. Like trying to, compare it to like how I just did your life being up. I feel like I would have to figure out how to word it better for some people, because I feel like I'm not making sense for some reason. But honestly, it's really just a good time when you are being nice to yourself, when you're giving yourself grace, when you're just enjoying life, just being in the moment, breathing, feeling good, going outside, hanging with friends, all these things. There are so many ways how you can be nicer or nice to yourself. Just implement these things. Literally just start doing the things that you see your higher self doing, and actually enjoying it, not dreading it like, dang, I really wish I could do this more often. Enjoy it like, oh my God, this feels so good. If that means you're going to the beach, you're going to the bookstore more often every morning, you're going to the gym every morning, you make healthier meals at night. Like, what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 to 20 years? That's a big range. I'm so sorry. But what do you see yourself doing? And are you doing anything right now to get to that level of success or satisfaction with yourself? Because I know a lot of us are not satisfied with what we are doing. And I'm not going to say we're not satisfied. I feel like we want more. And it's okay to want more. Just take in with what you have, though. Don't take for granted for what you have. It's okay to always want more for yourself. But we could always be doing better. That's with anything in life. You can always be doing something better. Nothing has like a cap to it, if that makes sense. Don't look at life as having a cap on whatever it is that you're doing. You can always do something to the next level. How we're gonna get it to the next level, that it's very subjective. It depends on what it is that we're doing, but you can always improve. Always learn something else. Like always meet new people. Life is literally what you make of it. And I'm here to tell you that I'm making my life literally how I see myself living in the future. Okay. Like I see peacefulness. I see me thriving. I see me just enjoying my life. I don't even need, it's a lot of things I don't even need. I just want to be happy. Like that's all I really ever ask for, is to be happy and full of abundance in whatever area of my life. I just want to just feel good. That's all you really want in life, is to feel good, do good, be good, look good. We need to put that on a shirt. I just really want you guys to just feel good. That's really what I'm here for. Like I said, I ask God to pour into me, to pour into you all, because listen, well, that's all we got. We got is each other. At the end of the day, you really only got yourself, but also too, when you have a community, you have friends, you have family, you have each other, So I don't even have a name for like my community of babes, but we rocking, y'all know. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys are tuned in to my next one. And also to make sure you guys share this episode on all your platforms. Let me know how you like it and everything like that. Let's engage in the comment section as well. And yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.